And then when she was introducing him to her extended aunts, she said, say hello, hug, and kiss them on the cheek. This is my family, not yours.
恭喜发财, it's Hazel.
Hey, it's Azura.
Hi, it's Germaine.
And welcome back to another episode of Clarity's Podcast. Happy Chinese New Year!
Yeah. 恭喜发财!
Yeah! What else do you know other than 恭喜发财?
万事如意.
红包拿来，
Okay.
步步高升。
Wow! All the no-hate things that we will say. How excited are you girls for Chinese New Year? Germaine, I can tell you're very excited.
It's so cute.
I'm wearing my 拜年 outfit from 2023.
I love it.
I can't really breathe. So if I pass out during today's episode, forgive me.
Beauty is pain.
Yeah.
How excited are you for Chinese New Year?
I love Chinese New Year. I love running the gambling den.
Wow.
I almost wanted to say, but Zura, you don't really celebrate Chinese New Year, right?
I'm just
Then
there for the gambling
She
den.
does with blackjack.
Yes.
What if you lose money?
It's okay.
Oh, you love the thrill of
It's
it.
the journey, not the destination.
Okay.
Correct. And chances are, there are people I know. So whatever I take lah.
Tickets, charity.
Yes.
Very I burped. So prior to this episode, I was just saying that I had to fart, but because they were right beside me, I didn't want to fart. I didn't
Then
want
I
to stop
told
my fart.
Hazel that science has proven that if you hold in a fart, it may come out as a burp. And she just burped. So everybody run.
Anyways, I'm very excited for Chinese New Year. As with every year, 初一 to 初十五. This year, I bought like 8 qipaos
Oh.
online, and I can't wait to wear them
Girl,
one by
what?
one.
I have just one outfit this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not going to be here for 初一 and 初二.
Oh.
Yeah. So I only need one outfit for my open house.
Okay.
Just one. Yeah.
Germaine's open house are of another level.
Yes.
Super, super fun. Okay. Anyways, I want to ask you girls a question. Have you guys ever introduced your partner to your family during Chinese New Year?
No. Oh,
I
gosh.
think you can choose a better time.
Yeah, that's
That
the worst
is
time. I
like-
agree.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree.
that is torture. Like, do you hate the guy?
No, but to some people, I can understand why they do that because they want their parents to be a bit distracted as they introduce their partner. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
but like,
so the parents don't spend too much attention on the guy.
Oh.
but the aunties are out in full force. Bad
I mean,
timing.
honestly, I think it's okay. Like, what if you get together in like November and you really want to celebrate Chinese New Year with your partner, and then Jan, Feb is about the time to introduce? Like, you're gonna have to bring them, right? You can't just like pretend you're not together. So I think if it's like a matter of timing, then bo pian.
Oh, bo pian.
Yeah, I've had like cousins who brought like new girlfriends and stuff. This story I told like back in season 1. My cousin brought a girlfriend that like one of my other relatives had actually dated before. And when she walked in the door, we were like, what the fuck? We were like, we know this girl. She's back in our lives again.
Then?
But they're not related. One is my other relative.
Okay.
Oh.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So on two sides of the family, but we know the girl.
So they didn't know.
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
girl didn't know
no.
lah.
The girl didn't know.
That's
Like,
so awkward.
hello. Anyways, yeah. So that was Chinese New Year. I remember it was like a room of 50 people and she walks in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Singapore is small, so you never know.
How
Okay.
fun.
So, if not Chinese New Year, what is the right time for you to introduce your partners to your family?
I think you need to start with your parents. Don't go straight into like extended family. Build your way up. Mine was my brother's birthday lunch. That's when I first brought Andrew to meet my parents.
You were very nervous.
I was nervous, but he seemed less nervous than I was, so
Because he's just a chill
he's
guy.
just a chill guy.
How long was that into your relationship?
That was probably 2 months.
Oh,
Okay.
Hey, pretty fast. You must have been so sure.
Yeah, I think we were pretty sure. Because I already met his whole family at that point. He brought me to meet his family on his 40th birthday trip overseas. So I met them all at one go. And I got the sense that they felt like I might not stick around when I first met them. And it's through no fault of their own,
Yeah.
right? I mean, this is very valid. Like, if you meet a girl and you're like, don't even know if she's going to stick around, would you really invest that much into getting to know
Right.
her? Then they realize, oh shit, she's here to stay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So, okay, based on your experience of meeting like the whole family at one go,
Yeah.
as compared to like a smaller family 1st, is it scarier?
It was intimidating, but I felt that because he's very close with his family and they're all like very important people to him. These are like his core, you know what I mean? His core support system. So I didn't feel like the effort was going to go to waste. Because it's like if you go and meet second aunts, third uncles, things like that, it's
Yeah.
different, the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see them like once a year,
Yeah,
once every 2
years.
I actually feel like the best time to introduce your partners to your family is when there's no occasion at all. It's just a very casual
Random
dinner.
day.
Random dinner.
But then
there's no
when
other
there's no
intentions.
purpose, the purpose is to meet him.
Then
Exactly.
the focus is there.
So
Exactly.
scary.
You think so?
Not me lah.
Yeah, I feel like if you are sure enough, and then this is the best occasion that you can bring your partner back to meet your family.
So do you think that you should start by talking to your parents about it first and then setting up a date to bring them?
Yes. Yes. Never do it the other way around.
Why would you just spring it on them like, surprise, this is my boyfriend?
No lah, don't do that lah.
Say first,
Sound
right?
it out first. Tell your parents.
What did you say?
Perhaps I'll let them know that I've been dating this guy for some time, and every time I go home, I will tell them a bit more about the person that I'm seeing, and gradually, step by step, one day I'll ask, "Are you okay if I bring him home to meet you guys?" Yeah, I usually will privately text my mom and my dad. Like I won't ask it in the group chat because I want to give them the space to say no.
Have they said no before?
My dad is very introverted, so he doesn't really like meeting new people.
Okay.
I've introduced all my partners to him. I don't think he likes that.
Oh, I see.
Because to him, it's like, why do you keep having to change partners?
But
it's
you
not
also
like
don't know, ma.
Yeah, it's not like I expected us to break up, right?
Right,
Like we didn't work
yeah.
towards breaking up before I stepped into the relationship. So yeah, I just gotta get past that. Sometimes a bit tough to get around my dad, yeah.
I think it is important to firstly have that conversation,
Yeah.
the lead up. And I also think it's important to introduce your partner to your family. Whether or not your family wants to meet them is a different thing, but you should try to make the effort too. Because for most people, your family is, I guess, would be your support system. So it's important for them to get to know your partner, especially someone that you see a future with together. You have to start that integration early. If not, it's like 5 years in, they've never met your family. It's a bit of a red flag.
A bit.
Yeah.
And after meeting the family, what the family says is also a huge problem.
Oh, that's true. It comes with a lot of like
Right.
trickle down effects, right? I don't know, when you guys meet your partner's family, right? Do you feel like, oh, I have to be on my best behavior?
Of course.
I have to be like liked or I have to be respectful. What do you feel?
I think you wanna make a good impression and you wanna be accepted.
Yeah.
But I don't think you wanna put up a front either.
I think at least on the very first time that you meet their parents, you gotta be like nice, gotta like really put in the effort to sit down and talk to them.
You don't want them
understand
to hate you from the get-go.
Yes.
And then be like, ugh, I don't want this person around.
Correct.
kind of
So you
thing.
should be respectful, but I think it shouldn't be something that's not yourself. Example, imagine me, and then suddenly I show up at this person's house and I'm sweet girl next door. Doesn't make sense, right?
You are sweet though.
Thank you.
Not girl next door lah. Girl from outer space.
Yes, correct.
Don't be someone else. Still be
Correct.
yourself, but a bit more refined.
Yes.
So, we always say like, there's not that many original thoughts left in this world. This story of PDN introducing her boyfriend to her parents is an original thought. I
Okay.
have never seen anything like it. She says, when my partner and I were dating, I didn't have a formal introduction with my parents. I've got really strict parents, so I'm very worried how they would react, especially since he's my first boyfriend. So I took a more casual route. Back then, my desktop computer needed some cleaning and he had the tools to do it. So I suggested that he come over to my place to clean my desktop.
Wow.
I planned to, keep doing that until they got used to seeing him. And when we officially got together, then I told them, actually, yeah, this was my boyfriend all along. So that's one way.
Yeah, like sort of like introduce your boyfriend to your parents as your friend first. Oh, this is my friend so and so. And oh, my friend is coming over again.
Can I just say, parents are not stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they knew, PDN, I think they knew or had an inkling that this was probably someone that you're keen on. Like, wait, God, how dirty is your desktop?
That he needs to keep coming over to clean
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
She also says that the trick is to keep like talking them up before your parents even meet them. And that's what I did with Andrew. I said, I'm seeing this guy. And my dad was like, oh, is he a gangster or whatever? And this was funny because this was the exact month that Andrew had a magazine cover in a magazine called Prestige.
Okay.
And I get Prestige delivered to my house. So
I
he
know this
was
story.
sitting on my dining room table, his face staring at my parents every day, and they had no idea. So what I did was, well, anyways, he's a really nice guy. Like, he's very active, he meditates, he loves dogs, blah, blah, blah. And he's on this magazine cover, y'all can read. Then I just left. Then the next day, he put the magazine back outside my door. So he read it lah.
Oh.
So thanks, Prestige magazine.
Oh,
But
that's not a wild
the story talked him up very well. So it did most of the job for
for
me.
you.
Okay, so these are some stories of people recounting the first time they introduced their partners to their family. In case you need to, draw any references, I think it might be good for you to hear. Okay, so this person says, I introduced my wife to my family at Christmas during our first year together. They had heard about her because of her reputation and background, unfortunately shaped by her parents' struggle with alcoholism, but never met her in person. So I knew that my parents already had some sort of bias. But before I introduced her, I made a point to tell my family about her background and clear up any misconceptions. Once they understood her past, they welcomed her with open arms. It turned out to be a really good meet-up, and I'm glad both sides were accepting. So, some things only the person in the family can do.
Yes.
Like the boyfriend, only you can help to speak up for your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You
and
need to
tell your
have their
parents.
back. You cannot just let them shit all over your partner. Like in this next story, oh my god, this is a nightmare. I'm 25. I've been dating this guy who's 33 for about 9 months now. Introduced him to my parents over like dinner and stuff like that. So my boyfriend had a bit of a rough upbringing, not from a good family, and he actually ended up in jail. I brought him to family dinner, and out of nowhere, my parents started to ask him, so you were in jail before? She didn't tell their parents, but apparently her sister Pauto to the parents, which is a horrible thing to do. Why would you do that? So the parents started to be very condescending towards him and be like, oh, you went to jail. There must be a good reason for that. It takes, only a certain kind of people that end up in jail and stuff. They were trying to say it in a joking way, but the boyfriend was very hurt by that. Even though he tried to brush it off, but he was very hurt by that. That's not the best way.
Did
for
the
an
story
introduction.
say if they ended up together still? Or?
She didn't say they broke up, so hopefully they are still together. But that is tough though. I feel like, okay, let's say you guys are dating a guy who's been to prison before.
Okay.
Would you tell your parents before introducing, or would you just keep your mouth shut?
I wouldn't say.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I don't
say.
think it's relevant to who the person is now.
And I don't think it helps my situation. If I want my parents to accept this person and I want them to know the truth, sure. But maybe after they have known this person for how he is now.
After you get married.
Yeah.
Actually, that.
Yeah, 10 years ago, my
By
husband
the
was
way-
in prison.
But this is the. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Honey.
No, but I think maybe she's afraid of the well-being. Like she's afraid her own sister will be married to someone who is an ex-prisoner.
I guess it's easier said than done, but how about give the person a chance first? Meet the person first, feel the person out first,
Agree.
and then you decide what you want to do. You know what I mean?
I think when you get together with someone, not necessarily marry them, but when you get together with them, you also get together with their family.
Correct.
Right? And sometimes family culture can give you a bit of a shock. Because your family might be very different from the other person's family. For example, in this story by Nintendo Innuendo, love that name. I grew up in a Norwegian-style household. So basically, you keep to yourself, very few big family gatherings.
Okay.
And you don't touchy, huggy, love you kind of thing. There's nothing like that. My boyfriend is from a massive family of Italians.
Oh.
When I met his family for the first time, they were so friendly and outgoing and hugging and talking, kissing the cheek, socializing. I had never experienced anything like that before.
Buongiorno.
Yeah. So she had to get used to that. Even though their families are so different, you kind of have to adapt.
But it's also their way of showing their love and concern for you, right? It might not be a way that you're used to.
Yes.
But it's definitely them putting this up with kind intentions.
Actually, I know a person like that where she grew up in a family that's very loving, very kissy, huggy. And the person she was seeing grew up in a family where no contact. It's not no contact, but a little bit more not as lovey. And then when she was introducing him to her extended aunts, she said, say hello, hug, and kiss them on the cheek. This is my family, not yours.
Oh, the instructions.
Scary.
That's very,
She said like that.
very
but
militant.
does that not put the guy in a very bad place?
I don't know. He did it lah.
At the end of the day, I think don't judge your partner's family. They didn't choose their family, right? And every family has different dynamics. If you respect your partner and you love your partner, then do the same for their family. Extend that to your family.
Yeah. But what about some stories of people being introduced to their partner's family? So just now we went the other way, right? Introducing your partners. Now we reverse it. Okay, this person online say the first time his partner brought him home, it was very bad because she asked him to sweep the floor.
Why?
Who is she
why?
in this situation? The mom
mom?
asked him to sweep the
Like
floor.
she as in the mom?
If my mother asked Andrew to sweep the floor,
The first time she met him.
it's a bit rude, yeah.
And like, wouldn't Andrew be so scared?
He doesn't even know how to sweep the floor, so that's the problem here. Yeah, that's a bit. Why would you do that?
Unless the boyfriend
Testing.
can think of it as a chance to,
Impress her.
impress her.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's like a power trip. It's a power play. Like, hey, I'm the mom. You sweep the floor.
But I will never do that though.
This one is kind of a nice story. My then girlfriend's father was a former chef.
Wow.
So he's like, can cook really well. And he thought of me as a very skillless, useless, phone gaming millennial boy.
Okay.
So when I met them for the first time, I used to be actually a worker in a kitchen when I was a teenager. So I know how to chop and cook and stuff like that. So I, went into the kitchen and cooked with him and cooked for them. He was so impressed with how fast I could chop. Chop, 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 chop. Today, a few years and one grandchild later, they treat me like their own child.
That's so cute.
It was all the chopping. that
Correct.
did it
See,
for
you
you.
planned that move well.
Yeah.
First impressions count.
Yeah.
Oh, smart.
Really.
So, are you saying that some strategy is involved?
Of course, some strategy is involved. You got to go in with a game plan. Don't just go
Yes.
in and like shasha, like, oh.
This I agree. And game plan involved on both parties. Like you
Yeah,
got to
okay.
decide what you can bring to the table, and at the same time, your partner has to talk to her parents to set you up in a good light.
True. It takes two hands to clap.
Yeah. Okay. So after hearing these stories, maybe you're thinking, okay, sometimes things can take a turn for the worse or for the better. But if you are preparing or wondering when you can take your partner home to meet your family, is it this coming Chinese New Year? Is it gonna be a few months down the road? I think there are certain things to consider and questions, of course, to discuss with your partner. First of all, where and when.
Okay.
I think if you work towards an end date, like a date that you set for yourself, that's going to make it so much easier and less stressful.
So, like, are you going to meet at home or
Yeah.
outside?
Yeah.
Are you going to keep it like a little bit more casual?
Yeah, is it going to be like a casual lunch, eat already and you go? Or is it going to be like a dinner where you stay
Right.
back for desserts and some chit-chat?
Communicate your expectations.
Yeah.
If it's like gonna be an all-nighter, like where you chat until like 8, 10 p.m., please tell your partner that so that they can mentally prepare.
Do you need to plan an exit plan?
Or
I think your partner should take care of that.
yeah.
If things get weird or like too
Okay.
awkward. Family dynamics.
Oh my gosh, this is so important.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like the kind of girl who, my love language is physical touch. I love hugging. I love to express my emotions by touching and stuff like that. So one time, I was bidding my date's family goodbye.
Okay.
And I'm very used to hugging his parents, saying bye. But I think his brother was not very used to it.
Oh.
So as I reached out for a hug, he gave me like an awkward, like one arm kind of pet kind of thing. And that's when I knew, okay, he's not comfortable with it. But I wish I knew about it earlier because then I would not have extended a hug to him. That was the last time I ever hugged him.
It's okay. You live and you learn.
Yeah.
You live and you learn many more years in your life, right? And I think with family dynamics and with family kind of like tradition and culture, you need to, for example, warn your partner if, let's say, your parents there's sensitive topics. Sometimes politics, sometimes
Family drama.
whatever. Yeah. Names you shouldn't bring up, topics you shouldn't bring up. Or, in my case, topics you should bring up. So before Andrew met my dad, I gave him a whole list of things he could talk about.
Oh.
That, once you bring up, right, my dad will just yap and yap and yap and yap nonstop very excitedly.
Okay.
Yeah, so till this day, he still repeats the
Referencing
same
the list.
stories, but Andrew very patiently listens to it. Like after the 5th time, he's like, "Oh, really, uncle?" Yeah, so sometimes you gotta throw them a bone, give them some time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to basically just address any anxieties or questions they have and be supportive of them. I know that it's your family, but if you're bringing your partner to see your family, then you are clearly the person in the middle, right? And it's important to extend that support to both sides.
That's true.
I think you also need to take note of expectations, like traditions, expectations, how your family runs the house, certain things that needs to be done, for example.
Like for example, if the mom prefers the shoes to be put on the floor mat when you come in.
Correct.
Things like that. Because I've actually had a story about that. Like the mom actually likes newspapers under the shoes, right? And then like, because the boy didn't tell her, the girl didn't know, so she put it on the floor. Then the mom like thought it was the girl's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the boy did not stand up for the girl at
like
all.
that?
Yeah.
Anyways, they're not together anymore. Yeah.
So you need to prep your partner. You know,
Newspaper,
if your
whatever.
mother is like the kind, anything in the house moves an inch, she knows. Then you tell him don't touch anything.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true. Or like if your family doesn't really like PDA, then don't be like,
touchy lovely.
touchy in front of them.
That's a very good point. So, what are some things you can do to impress your partner's family on the first visit? I think it's very important to not go empty-handed. As Asian as this might sound, I think bringing a small gift is always a sweet gesture.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, as you get to know them a bit more, you know their preferences, right? Just try to always think about them.
Yeah.
And after dinner, I think if you can offer to help wash the dishes, 很加分.
Yes,
Nice.
A lot of
Spa
points.
In-law.
Sometimes they would be like, oh, no need. But you're like, it's okay, auntie, I just help. Yeah. Then sometimes they're like, oh, it's okay, you can sit down. But at least you tried. You offered.
Yes, you
to
offered.
help.
And
Yeah.
then they know.
Yeah.
And engaging in conversations, I think this is super underrated.
Yes.
Like, not just going there to have dinner and like, just saying hi, but actually know them. Like, what do they do? What do they like? And some stories of your partners when they were younger.
Oh,
That's
they
so-
love talking about that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's such a good way to kick off the conversation.
Absolutely.
I think this is not just a first meeting thing. I think you have to constantly put in the effort as well.
True.
Like, ask about the day or like ask whether they've eaten. Like put in some effort, right? You know what I mean?
And if there's someone who's hosting this meal at their house, maybe your partner's parents or siblings, like just always remember to show gratitude to them for hosting and inviting you into their home.
Yep.
And most importantly, I think just be yourself.
Yeah.
Be happy, really be present in that conversation. And I hope it turns out well for you.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
That's
Okay.
right.
Don't
Be
worry.
yourself. If you laugh like me, don't suddenly.
Yeah, because it will come out anyway.
It will come out.
And they'll be like, who is this?
Okay, any last pieces of advice for people who are bringing their partners home for the very first time?
I think while creating an impression or while trying to create a good impression, you cannot be overly. You cannot overdo it because people can smell bullshit. So you don't want to kiss ass to the point they're like, this fella's sucking up to me.
Just be genuine.
Yeah. If you really have brought your partners home to your family and you want to share your stories with us, we're more than happy to listen. Follow us on Instagram at itsclarity.co and drop us a DM anytime.
That's right. You can listen to us on MeListen, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, turn on your notifications.
And we're on YouTube as well. Have a very happy Lunar New Year. We love you, sending you a lot of thoughts. If the holidays are difficult for you, and we'll catch you next time. Okay?
Yeah! 新年快乐!
Bye. Love you.
If you have tattoos, maybe cover them up first.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe you want a one-time show.
I that's what I did.
I think it's
Okay
okay.
lah, like small ones, okay lah, but if, like the sleeve tattoo, maybe
like
don't scare
dragon
the
on the
parents
arm.
on the first time.